Hey guys, welcome. It's your boy Ren City coming at you with a very quick episode here, a little sports and shorts of sorts special. Big NBA trades went down over this weekend. Yours truly has been doing a lot of NFL weekly episodes. Last year we did more NBA, switching it up, finding our way in the podcast world. I was trying to do a big NBA special as we were coming into the All-Star game, but the NBA decided to get a little wild entering February with a bang. So let's get to the big trade that I missed live, as I've been trying to go to bed a little earlier now. But when I woke up, I saw a message from my buddy Toad, and he said he did not see this coming. So it was kind of a weird morning. I woke up with like heartburn, kind of sweaty. I was like, what is going on? I looked at my phone, and it was like 3 a.m. It's like, what is going on? Why am I up so early? Maybe I'll just go to the washroom. I look at the message, click the link. There it was. Luka Doncic to the Lakers for Anthony Davis. First thing I thought was like, okay, my buddy's just been tricked. So then you do as you should with any news you read nowadays, double, triple check it. And every news outlet I went to, same thing. Holy shit, this is real. And you see the Twitter reactions or X, whatever, live reactions by players on the bench like Devin Booker and Kevin Durant during the game. Like, what? Is this for real? But why? And who's all involved here? Like, picks? What's going on? My suddenly tired brain was wide awake, wondering if my body just woke up in a sweat because it sensed such a colossal shift in the NBA landscape, and that's why I got up. But let's look at this transaction. Luka Doncic, the soon-to-be 26-year-old, he's turning 26 at the end of February. He's been a champion in Europe, and since getting drafted third overall in the 2018 draft, he's taken the NBA by storm. Rookie of the Year, five-time All-Star, five-time five-time All-NBA first team. Of course, he won't be able to achieve those marks this season. He's missed some time, and he's not going to hit the minimum 65 required games to win such achievements, but the guy with those kind of numbers, he just traded to the Los Angeles Lakers. Joining him, teammates Maxi Kleber and Markieff Morris, and coming back to Dallas, 31-year-old Anthony Davis, 32 in March, former number one overall pick. He's having a hell of a season. 25.7 points per game, shade under 12 rebounds, chipping in almost 3.5 dimes per game. But just as good as he is offensively, he can anchor it defensively. 2.1 blocks per game, 1.3 steals. He's doing it on both ends of the floor. Something the Mavericks are really aspiring for by the sounds of it. Joining the Brow in Dallas, you have Max Christie and the Lakers' 2029 first-round pick. I have to mention the third team. There was a third team in this three-way deal, and whenever there is an extra team in the draft, it somehow was always Danny Ainge, whichever team he's running. And the Utah Jazz executive knew he wasn't getting the big parts of the pie, but he made sure he was getting some pieces. The Jazz showed up, and they got Jalen Hood-Schifino, the Lakers' first-round pick in 2023, 17th overall, and the 2025 second-round pick via the Clippers, and the Mavs' 2025 second-round pick. And according to Andy Larson of the Salt Lake Tribune, the Jazz gave up $55,000 to both the Lakers and the Mavericks in order to acquire Hood-Schifino in the second-round picks. No one does it like Danny Ainge. So now we're a little familiar with the who. Let's try to figure out the why. This trade came out of nowhere. No one had any idea. A secret that you only hear about in NBA lore, where it's so tightly held to people that no one knew this was coming. There hasn't been any like this. In fact, it's the first time that reigning all NBA players were traded for each other in the middle of the season. Now, why would the Mavericks send their franchise player, who's recognized globally, to the Los Angeles Lakers? Well, if you listen to Dallas Mavericks GM Nico Harrison talk about the trade, he's had this idea thought up for a while. He said it initially started as little hints with him and Lakers GM Rob Pelinka, who initially thought it was a joke, but as time progressed, the trade became more likely. So they just pulled the trigger late Saturday night, and after the news broke, well, I told you how everyone reacted, similar to wondering if Shams had his account hacked, was this fabricated, and then Nico Harrison would speak about the trade, saying how he believes defense wins championship, and that, I quote, I believe that getting an all-defensive center and an all-NBA player with a defensive mindset gives us a better chance. We're built to win now and in the future. Now, before you start a witch hunt or anything, let's look short-term here. Luka Doncic hasn't played since Christmas Day. There have been conflicting reports from Dallas worrying about his conditioning and that the superstar weighing close to 270 pounds at one point this season. And the Mavericks are sitting in ninth place granted the tough West, but they've fallen back a bit since making to the NBA Finals last season. Obviously, having Luka out of the lineup, that's going to be a big part of it. But with Anthony Davis coming in, you have one hell of a guard big combo with Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving, plus sharpshooter Klay Thompson. These are all former U.S. Olympic gold medalists here. Plus bringing a guy like Max Christie, that's kind of big too. It's a little overlooked. He's 21-year-old, averaging career high in minutes, points, rebounds, and assists. The former second-round pick of Michigan State looked to be finding his way in the league this season. He could be a nice glue guy with the Mavs, like Josh Green was in helping him to get to the finals last season, or similar to like Quentin Grimes is doing for them this year. But with Davis coming in, he gets his dream situation. The Brow always likes playing with another big man, and we saw what happens when he plays with a physical front court partner. Back in 2020, in the bubble, playing alongside Dwight Howard or JaVale McGee, Davis played some of his basketball on the way to an NBA championship. Now he's going to be playing along guys like Daniel Gafford and Derek Lively II. This could be really scary for the rest of the league. Just back on January 27th, a week ago, Anthony Davis dropped 42 points, 23 boards, 2 blocks on the Hornets. Granted, they're looking for some big man help there with their injuries, but that's still some big numbers. This guy's been balling out, and he's having a hell of a season. That's why I think maybe just for this season, the Mavs could have won this deal. And if that core stays healthy, we know the injury history of the three-headed beast in Dallas. Anthony Davis doesn't get the nickname street clothes for nothing. Kyrie and Klay, they've dealt with injuries, but any team could get destroyed with big injuries to their main guys. I mean, these guys have been injured more than others, but if they can stay healthy, this team's a legit title contender, and I'm not embellishing that. They have a great group of others who all bust their ass defensively. They picked up some great playoff experience on the run to the finals, and now this Mavs trio of leaders they all have championship rings, so we'll see how the rest of the season plays out for the Mavericks, because like I said, if healthy, this could be a wrecking crew, a team that could hurt you inside and out on both sides of the ball. GM Nico Harrison's preaching new defensive culture, one that he did not see Luka being a part of. So you've heard my take on the Mavericks and how this season could be a threat to win a championship, maybe even one more, but I don't know how long that window stays open with age and injuries. Harrison was not joking when he was saying he was in win now mode, which shifts us to the West Coast. The Los Angeles Lakers love superstars, and they have another one for their pantheon. Luka Doncic coming to town, expected to return from injury within a week. This will have Lakers head coach J.J. Redick tinkering with the lineup quite a bit, pairing LeBron James and Luka Doncic. That's almost seeming unreal, but it'll be interesting to see how they play together. Two superstars on two different ends of their careers, learning to play on the fly. And the weird thing, the Lakers are fifth in the West. I mean, they've been playing some good basketball, and they felt they were a move away from being a contender. Anthony Davis, talking to Shams, said the team needed to make a trade. Well, they did, and I don't think he expected to be a part of it. And the thing coming in here with Luka Doncic, the Don, if there's one thing we know about Luka, he is a vengeful dude. He fuels himself much like his idol Kobe Bryant used to, much like Michael Jordan before him. That fire will have us seeing some of the best Luka Doncic you've ever seen, I believe. It'll be an adjustment, but I think he's gonna have that "I took that personally" meme come to life here. I can't wait to see it. There's lots of mystery though. How is Luka's conditioning? Is he gonna come in looking like James Harden pre-trade, or how's he gonna play with LeBron? How are the Lakers going to guard the paint? Davis was a great protector in there, and he's gone. Are we going to see more of Christian? I'm in love with Coloco. I'm not sure, but we'll see. That lots of questions with the Lakers. I imagine they'll make another move to try to replace the Brow in the middle. But they could make a run this season. Like I said, they have a good record. And I said if the Mavs click, they'd have a great season. If the Lakers stay healthy and get their guys back, they have a great season. We could see something crazy. The combined minds of Luka and Braun coming together could have these two teams meet in the playoffs. How crazy would that be? Lakers Mavericks playoffs. Luka coming back to town. Hoo-wee. And LeBron, he's 40. He's doing insane things at 40, something that no one's ever seen in the NBA, but he is still 40. Father Time is still undefeated. And now having a guy like Luka Doncic, when Braun does retire, they'll have the guy lined up to take well, it will be his team, I imagine, going forward, but he'll be the face. And they'll save some money on that contract too, because with Luka getting traded, he's no longer supermax eligible. So this trade could cost upwards of $165 million to Luka Doncic. You can see why he hasn't returned any calls or texts to Mavs GM Nico Harrison. I mean, I wouldn't either. The Lakers also get 35-year-old Markieff Morris. He almost seemed to throw in at this point, but he's returning to a team he won an NBA championship with in 2020, and he could bring some great veteran experience. Maxi Kleber, he could be a wild card here, the versatile German. He's a knockdown shooter, good one-on-one defender, and someone the Lakers could use in key situations come playoff time. Quick mention of the Jazz here. I know they're a side story and one of the biggest trades in NBA history, but again, shouting out Danny Ainge, collective 110 grand altogether. He was able to get a former first round pick in Jalen Hood-Schifino, who granted has been out since early December, but he's a talented young dude who hasn't had a lot of chance to fight for minutes with the Lakers, and he'll get that chance in Utah. Plus, the Jazz hoarded more picks, like Danny Ainge looking like a crack fiend with second round picks out, but you have to wonder when the Jazz will finally be out of this rebuild. But let's go over the trade. How do you feel about it? It seems an overwhelming group of people have decided the Lakers won this deal and the Mavs were hosed. If the Mavericks can win a title this season or next, Nico Harrison might look like a genius, but there's plenty of risk moving a guy like Luka Doncic. And I just feel he wasn't Nico Harrison's guy. He didn't draft Luka. You didn't feel Luka put in the appropriate work to stay conditioned. You didn't feel he put in the defensive work. We remember that monumental win when the Mavs are celebrating in the locker room and you see Nico Harrison take away Luka's beer. Maybe that was a sign of things to come. Maybe Nico, was feeling himself a bit after all the praise he received last season for making additions like Daniel Gafford and PJ Washington, two teams that really helped change their trajectory on the way to the finals. So he's got that confidence, but if this move doesn't bring at least one championship, you got to think it's a failure. So I don't want to say there's pressure on the GM, but there is. He was able to get the new owner, Patrick Dumont's blessing in the trade, even after initially laughing at the idea. So it's a move that you got to think majority owner or minority owner now, Mark Cuban, wouldn't have made if he was still in charge. But we'll see what happens with the teams here. For the Lakers, they get that streak going of bringing stars to La La Land. Like I said, when Luka gets healthy, he's gonna have a personal vendetta against the league. He's been dealing with injuries this season, and now he's got this extra fuel. As mentioned, I cannot wait to see angry Luka. Because of that motivation and the fact Luka is around 6 years younger, I do think the Lakers won this trade. I'm not saying it's as one-sided as some people have been saying, because that trio in Dallas, if healthy, could have one hell of a run and could potentially become the first Western Conference team to go back-to-back NBA Finals since the Warriors had their 5 consecutive appearances. But being with the West so stacked, I don't feel the Mavericks will make the finals this season, and I think this trade will be backfire on them a bit. They'll have success, but not Luka's success in LA, and I think Nico Harrison wasn't joking when saying his future is 3 to 4 years, because he might be fired before that time comes. One of the biggest trades in NBA history that went down in the middle of the night with tons of secrecy, the type of shit that leads to an E60 special. Many are wondering if making the plan to move Luka public would have got the Mavs better assets. You got to think more than one draft pick, and it may have, but it could also have put Luka in position to demand where he goes. So I understand the desire to make it hush-hush and to get the player you want. Plus, money was a big thing in this picture, with Luka lining up to make that supermax contract, and other teams already around the league clearing space to try to make the Slovenian join them. You can see why the Mavericks wouldn't want to deal with that hassle. But man, you got to think Luka Doncic is worth the hassle. This could end up being like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. When Kareem at least he won a title with the Big O in Milwaukee before requesting a trade. I think over the span of the rest of his career, Luka will have more titles than the Dallas Mavericks. So just because of my recent content, like I said, is more NFL, European footy related. Doesn't mean I've been putting in the notes, keeping NBA notes. And like I said, I'm hoping to make that content soon. I was hoping by the All-Star game, but these trades, I couldn't stay silent. And I said trades because there is another one. And being a Spurs fan, I am absolutely over the moon for. That trade will come out later because I got to go to work today, so that sucks. But I look forward to talking about that other trade because, as I said, a Spurs fan. I'm rocking my dad's old Lakers jersey. May he rest in peace. But he's a big Lakers fan, so I had to wear the gold for the announcement of Luka. Jeez, I still can't. Luka in La La Land. Damn, didn't see that coming. I thought he was going to be a lifer like Dirk. Get that statue out there. He's not getting a statue now. But you just keep tuned. The trade deadline in the NBA is still a few days away. Thursday, February 6th in the afternoon. Keep your eyes on your alerts. There could be more to come. I might have to do some more trade talk, but thanks for coming out. Always love talking about sports. Hope you enjoy listening to me talk about it. Hold that follow through. Ren Studio.